Orb of Fire. I mean, fortunately, we have your greatest weakness, which is an orb of a different flavor, an orb of a different variety. And so, as long as we can get shots lined up, Orbs of Destruction will annihilate this son of a gun before they have too much of a chance to prevent the behavior. Did I get mutated much in that flow? I feel like they were mainly throwing fire at us, which is kind of a welcome relief. In fact, holy, what the hell happened? All of our mutations. Wait a second. So we start with just one fire. Did the rest of this come from Zom? They didn't change Djinnis, right? Djinnis didn't get like stronger in that department? Don't believe so. Should also double check. There are kind of other things we could buy to potentially increase our odds of continued survival in this tumultuous time. But maybe let's not worry our pretty little heads about it. Instead, let us just melt these sons of guns. I don't even really have to explore the rest of this floor now that I think about it. Probably should just head to that stairwell right here. Yeah, do you know what? I don't think this is a finish all of Zot kind of run. I mean, there's some temptation, maybe at least Zot 1. See, but this is what very quickly changes things from like, oh, I think we'll be fine here. We should have what it takes to deal with most of the enemies we come across, to, oh god, it's all coming down around us. And that specifically is the Black Draconians and their lightning damage being kind of unmanageable from our current perspective. Bunch of Draconians slowly following us to a stairwell, though. That is completely within the scope of our abilities to handle. I want this shifter to come next to us. Okay, or not. That's not cool, but it is what it is, I guess. And just keep blasting all of y'all. Okay, the Scorcher is dead. That is a good step forward. Means can't die now. Well, hey, we'll see. I never believed I could die from the moment this run started, of course. So we'll see if that confidence bears out, or if we're forced to face the music at any point, as the road goes ever on and on. Down through the moon where it began. Another song I only know a passing resemblance of when it comes to lyrics. The road goes ever on and on is the important bit, I think. That gets the people going. For any of my Tolkien heads out there. Oh my gosh, there's gotta be... This can't be an original thought, right? So I'm thinking cover band. We do elvish medieval renditions of popular songs, and we call ourselves the Tolkien Heads. Thank you. If you need more ideas, I'll be around. I got plenty more where that came from. Not really. That was my one. Please don't throw it away. It's all we got. Got nothing left. Okie dokie. But nonetheless, terrible puns aside, let's just keep on keeping on. Holy crap, Zom. 566 gold? Here I was making fun of a bunch of monsters for being trust fund kids, and then, lo and behold, you show that it's not unique to monsters. I'm like, yes. Okay. These sons of guns. Oh, of course they're electrical wasps. Well, do you know what? I believe in you, Cacodemon. Sir, I said I believe in you. Keep him busy. Actually, you two dueling? Interesting. One Cacodemon apparently just annihilating our monstrous friend there. Ain't no thing. But a chicken wing. Okay, blast you kids into another orbit, and beautiful. We're now in, like, areas that are definitely not as well suited for this character's playstyle. Lots of close encounters, close corridors, and more importantly, I don't even know. I guess the statues are maybe the problem for the Orb of Destruction. Something's a problem. Couldn't possibly be me. Okay, Force Lance spells have felled off. Sorry, Zom. I know you put a lot of time and effort into getting those fully operational, but unfortunately, just not what's in these days. You know, the Draconians out there they have minds of their own, man. They spend all their time on iPads. Something, generational humor that puts down every generation other than my own. Lock it in. Oh, and I should not have bothered with an electric turret. That's gonna do nothing. Okay, what the hell's happened here? You're dissipating all of my orbs of destruction? What do you have? +2 tower shield? That shouldn't be enough, right? Okay, teleportation is slowed. That's fine. We do want to... Oh, no? Oh, there's someone in the hallway behind you, probably. In fact, 2 people. If it's not going to deal... Oh, no, it's just not going to deal damage because there's no walls. Never mind. I guess even if I Discord, is that also potentially available as a defensive option against spellcasters? Are they boned? They might be, because no, they're hasted and mighted. They can still cast spells. That's not enraging them, now that I think about it. Welp. I mean, I'm still gonna hope we murder you before you get too much opportunity. How much damage do you do? 75. Generally, I guess, is a safe bet for any of these sons of guns. Okay, 1 step back and slam. Oof. I no longer want to teleport. If it takes me into the mix there, I'm probably dead. Oh my lord. What happened? Is it just the purple draconian that ruined this? It wasn't Zom? Zom, you didn't have any part? I might just be dead. Okay, not yet. Not technically. Jesus. Oh, man. Should have gone a refill for my drink before coming back down here. Okay. You, sir. Lightning bolt is full range. Man, if I just let the teleport finish, I might have been okay. 17% revivify. I don't like 17%. I'm definitely regretting those decisions now. That was the one thing that was potentially keeping me alive. I mean, alternatively, so I'm thinking, is there anywhere I can blink that leaves me safe from the golem? I don't know where a lot of our other enemy friends were teleported with my dispersal. So that is a big unknown at the moment. But otherwise, like, if I blinked here... I don't know if with 160% speed, if that means that this buddy will have time to step and blast. Or even just step and smack, really. Do I just embrace the 83% chance of survival? Oh, I have so many good consumables at my disposal, too. If Fog didn't take a while to roll out, then Fog would be a pretty straightforward selection for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so if I went this way, I'd teleport here. And there's just no saying what awaits us, eh? You won't be able to see us. You won't be able to hit us or see us. Whatever's here, though, that's where the problems arise. Oh, me oh my, like I said, decision-making, never my forte on even the best of days, but especially at moments like this. 83% versus a fairly unknown percent, I guess. And if I do blink here, then I still have to survive long enough to do the other crap anyway. Maybe that's a better argument against that plan. You know what, let's... Oh, I don't have the health to revivify. Of course, it costs health. What was I thinking? Okay, so let's wrap our heads around this. I need to chain 2 blinks together, I think, is what this boils down to. Which means, do I go off the play that blinking here is 1 turn safety, and then hop, skip, and a jump, and I'm out to here? This is where I wish I had a better understanding of some of the underlying mechanics of this game. You know, I'm a fairly, like, surface level, even though I've played this game forever, and I do obviously have more knowledge than any person needs to have about anything. I still just don't have that tight grip of understanding. Son of a gun, it blinked and hurled lightning at me, and this son of a gun was out here? Oh, man. And just like that, folks, it's all taken away. Damn. That one's a crying shame. Kaos was doing very well, and yeah, coming into Zot without lightning resistance or electricity resistance, just never a great idea. Honestly, I kind of was forcing the orange crystal plate, which I will not regret that side of it because I love this item and I will die on that hill. But definitely feel like there were better approaches to this, and especially as soon as we saw these enemies showing up, that was probably the time to chug a resistance potion. Trying to step through. Maybe I'll watch it back at some point in the future. The exact like sequence of turns and which one was kind of the branching point, because obviously there are always a lot of high level issues that go into losing a run in this game, and I like to, you know, pay some amount of lip service to those, and that's kind of what we started out on. But this one, I feel like you know, electricity resistance aside, we probably should have survived this. And likely that would have been, yeah, being a bit more preemptive. Because, you know, I can joke about like, oh, if we just let that teleport pop off, but the teleport could have taken us directly into the same group of enemies. Not a very helpful bit of personal reflection either. So I think the big one is that resistance potion. Like, we knew this golem was back here. I'd forgotten, but we'd seen a peek of them earlier. And so just knowing they're around, even if we didn't have this draconian shifter kind of jump everyone directly onto our heads, still might have been a good idea. I don't know, it is funny how those little, I mean, you can ruminate forever on every little decision, but even something as simple as, for whatever reason, I decided, let's finish this entire floor. I could have just gone down that stairwell, and maybe Zot 3 through 5 was the biggest walk in the park you've ever seen. We'll never know. At least I won't. I mean, the seat is right there if anyone's interested. See how you fare. But nonetheless, it is what it is, and any small change in decision could have, of course, shifted the entire outcome. We could have died a hell of a lot earlier, even. But regardless, this was a really fun run. I wish that I was given a moment on this page to go through our spells and whatnot, because this was a very, very interesting character. Unfortunately, though, I mean, we immediately are sent here, and then maybe in like... There's a history, definitely in the morgue. I mean, you can see all sorts of data about your run and basically pick apart the entire thing for those who are more intellectually inclined than I am. But nonetheless, yeah, such a fun mixture of spells. I mean, Gel's Gavot or whatever, super fun. Never used that spell before. I actually really enjoyed it. I still don't know how it compares to kind of my standard slew of spells that I would like to approach most like spellcasters with, or the approach I like to take for most spellcasters is probably a better way of phrasing that. But situationally, very cool, very high damage on it as well. It was only at 52%, and it was still able to one-shot a lot of kind of depth tier enemies. So it's a pretty sweet spell overall. Again, just getting like Dispersal again. I almost never use Dispersal on a standard spellcaster. The 2 times I've gotten it on Djinni, it's been like run defining in terms of keeping myself safe. So maybe that should, I don't know, lend itself towards some potential, at least acknowledgement of translocations in my traditional caster runs. We'll see if that actually ends up coming to pass, but yeah, very solid overall. If we only had a little bit more health, that revivification. But again, I'm spinning my wheels. You can tell that one, I don't know, it doesn't even hurt. I'm like way past being desensitized to deaths in Crawl, and I honestly do think about it as a big part of the fun. You know, if it wasn't so fickle at times, or it didn't feel so fickle, because really it's a pretty mechanically strong game and very consistent in a lot of ways. I don't even know, where was this train of thought going? I guess suffice it to say, Kaos was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed playing them. So regardless of if we'd won in a little bit here or our unfortunate death, I was always going to be disappointed at having to say goodbye to our good friend there. Maybe just maybe we'll have to recreate it in the future. You know, can't really recreate it with a Djinni because I don't think I have enough time in my lifespan to take the like infinite monkeys with typewriters approach and try and get the same spell outcomes. But we can play a mage who's like cosplaying as their favorite Djinni from beyond the mortal realm and just get the same spells. That's not gonna work. You need like infinite experiences. Maybe just don't listen to me. I'm coming off of a very distressing situation, of course. So suffice it to say that and only that is the reason why my rambling makes no sense. Couldn't possibly have anything to do with my mental faculties. But it's Zot's fault at the end of the day. Oh, 100%. Everything is, really. I mean, I stubbed my toe the other day. Immediately blamed Zot. You know, my spouse wants to get a divorce. That's Zot's fault too. Oh, me oh my. Regardless, I think this is where we'll call it. I was debating if we potentially had it in us to start a new run, but unfortunately, I think we're kind of near the end of the day, or kind of my estimated end of the day, going through that original run. And you know, it was a good one. I think we need to leave some breathing room, let the folks mourn Kaos, and not mourn, but nay, remember what they meant to us instead. Celebrate their life and everything they did achieve instead of focusing on their failures. And again, their failures, not mine. It's either Zot's fault or it's Kaos's fault. I'm just a witness. I'm just doing my job, man. But yes. Regardless, what that all boils down to, that's just the exceptionally long-winded way of saying that I think this will be it for our evening. But yeah, overall, super fun day. Very, very happy to keep going and come to a conclusion for Kaos. Of course, I, as always, appreciate all you lovely folks for joining us. You know, if you were chatting alongside us here, lurking in the background, or hey, if you're watching this down the road through the VODs on Twitch or YouTube, then thanks for joining us. I hope you had a lot of fun watching Kaos's rises and falls, the roller coaster of emotions that a pure Kaos run can give you. It was funny, after last stream, maybe the one before, it was when we raided into Ninth Settler, and they asked what we were playing in DCSS, and I hadn't even really thought that Djinni of Zom really is just pure randomness. And we're letting the game very much set the pace for whether we'll even have a chance at success or not. And I mean, to its credit, we did have that chance. So maybe there's something to that idea. We'll see what we end up coming back with when we do eventually return to Zom. As for what's next for us when we come back next week, I'm not really sure. You know, I talked a little bit with Eric I think someone last week, about the idea of summoners and potentially giving that another shot, especially, you know, seeing a little bit of the summon change and hearing a bit about like how summon canine has changed. But we'll have to see if that goes well with any of the gods we have left. Of course, if not, we still have some tried and true classics. I do want to return to like a Mountain Dwarf Necromancer of Ured. I think that was a lot of fun and could continue to be such in another attempt down the road. But of course, if you do happen to see this before Sunday rolls around, let me know if you have any combos you'd like to see, or any fun little twists or ideas on what approach we can take. And yeah, and we'll see what happens next Sunday. See where those cards fall. I don't know what's going on with me like in the next hour, much less a week from now. So we'll play it by ear. But regardless, thanks again for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the abrupt end to Kaos's journey doesn't hurt too much. But again, we'll remember all the good parts and smile because it happened and all that good stuff. What other kind of platitudes can I throw at this? The most basic idioms I can possibly reference and put to task here. But yeah, I guess if we're ending up or ending off here, we should do the usual check to see who's live at the moment, who we can send a raid off to keep things rolling here. If, as always, you'll give my poor laptop a moment to gather its thoughts. A moment of silence. I don't like days like this. You know, it's sweet when I end stream and there's one of my favorite people online. I'm like, okay, that's where we send the raid off to. Very straightforward. But multiple folks that we always like to support here. I think to mix it up, and to pay service to one of our lovely viewers, let's raid over to Chadleywick. They're currently playing some Stalker 2, which I haven't looked too much into. I'm very curious. I played a lot of Stalker of Chernobyl back in the day. It was one of my brother's games, and by extension, that meant that it was one of my go-to games, because I always just played his like secondhand titles. But I'm guessing it's a deeply not environmental. What's the word I'm looking for? You know, the mood permeates the entirety of the setting. A very immersive game maybe is getting a little bit to the nugget of what I'm trying to convey, but nonetheless, my inability to convey my thoughts, feelings, and emotions aside, I think we'll send a raid over that way, shall we? So let's at least kind of get it started here. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. Interesting. Start that raid off. Again, thank you all for the support here, for joining us. All the appreciation in the world. And yeah, I guess we'll see you next week when we come back. Regardless of my inability to pilot what should be an easy win to the end, I do hope that you're having a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you out there. And I definitely hope to see you soon when we come back next week for some kind of maybe hybrid necromancer, maybe pure summoner, or whatever floats our boat at the time. Just remember, folks, we never, even for a moment, even as we face off against throes of enemies that deal electrical damage without any corresponding resistance, we still never, even for a moment, didn't have it. I'll see you soon.